A very different natural disaster in their case. What advice would you give them about how you rebuild a country that's been through devastation?
Well, the first advice I would give the people of Haiti and the leadership in Haiti is not to despair and feel that they can't overcome the kinds of problems. However insurmountable they may seem, because with the leadership and the people, if they pull together and mobilize all the resources and the will that is there to help, the political will globally, and get organized and target the kind of assistance in specific areas and certain priorities, then they can pull through like Rwanda has done in the last 17 years.
How important was that direct help from the United Nations?
That is helpful at the beginning, mainly, when there is this kind of situation of emergency where all kinds of help is needed. But the most important thing is to have national ownership and make sure that there is a coordination of the kinds of very well-intended efforts to try and help. If not coordinated, you may have a lot of help coming in or promised, but it will not result into any tangible.
Let me ask you, President Martelly, it's an interesting point, isn't it? When the disaster happened, the earthquake struck, you had the world's attention for a period of time. But as with all these things, the world moves on, and you're left in Haiti to continue the reconstruction process and the rebuilding of a shattered country. How are you getting on at the moment, and how much more should the international community now be doing that perhaps they've stopped doing?
First of all, I must tell you that we were really caught by surprise for not having the culture of dealing with earthquake, first, and secondly, way before the earthquake, we had no infrastructure. So after the earthquake, we were really lost. And then the world moved in. And a lot of money have been spent at that time. Unfortunately, today, when we look back, we can barely see what has been done with the money.
How much of that has been either wasted or lost through corruption or all the things that tend to happen in such a situation?
Well, that's exactly the point. Today you can say because they put the emergency in front and they're saying that it was about saving lives. So you can't really tell what money was properly used, and some people use the earthquake to make their money.
Dr. Farmer, I see you nodding there. I mean, you've been an expert in a lot of these areas before. You described the Haitian earthquake as an acute on chronic event, a disaster that hit an already fragile country. From what you've seen in Haiti, what is the imperative now?
Well, if I could mention the imperative, what's always right in front of you, if I'm a physician, so for me that would be a patient who's injured, and having been there after the earthquake, I understand that imperative better than any other. At the same time, what the people of Haiti are facing now is not just relief, but reconstruction. And the imperatives are getting kids back in school, building infrastructure, as President Martelly said, and coordinating the goodwill that I think there is a lot of goodwill turned towards Haiti. But if it's not coordinated, as President Kagame said, it ends up complicating matters. One thing I think we can know, and President Martelly knows this, is that of the generous donations that were pledged to Haiti for acute relief, that is saving lives, less than 1% of that money went to the Haitian government and the public sector. And so, you can't rebuild municipal water systems with NGOs, as well-intentioned as they might be. And certainly the one I volunteer for, Partners in Health, is very well-intentioned in Haiti and in Rwanda, but we cannot replace the government, and so we're trying to...
You bring it on here. You've got this organization, Urban Zen. You've worked with the Clinton Global Initiative to build homes in Haiti.
The model for the developing countries is their soul and their spirit. And I said, you could look at this as negative, or you can look at it positive. And I think the people were quite shocked when I went down originally, because if I came out with a very simple way of doing it, and then I saw every person there as an artist. So what I was able to do is work with the artisans, to work with the artisans. Everything here I'm wearing is made in Haiti.
Really?
I mean, shockingly. These are horn bracelets. This story is spectacular. A woman went down to adopt 2 children. So what did she do? She adopted a village by recycling paper and making these beads. Then I had come in and worked with her in coloration. You know, recently developing paper-mache bags. You know, having the opportunity to work with this type of creativity, I really believe it's the model
And tell
for
me,
developing world.
how are they responding to this kind of thing?
You know, it's not as easy as I thought, you know, but I do know that there is an answer here. You know, I was so excited that I finally put it on the runway at the Donna Karan show. So I was able to show the people, don't give up. Unless we put philanthropy and commerce together, which I believe...
Which is exactly what President Kagame was saying, is that the UN and the international community can go so far, but actually in the end, you do need to have the people of Rwanda, of Haiti, being inspired and helped and encouraged to rebuild from within. President Martelly, you're the man in charge of the government there. You've heard what the man from Rwanda says. He's been through all this. What do you think?
First of all, the Rwanda model is a model that we're following very closely. First of all, we need to identify what we want to do. For instance, let's say we're going to work with coffee. We work with coffee and make the best out of it to the point where we can, again, export coffee. Back in the years, we paid our independence with coffee. It was worth $21 billion.
I'm going to go and start drinking Haitian coffee. Thank you both very much, Mr. President, Dr. Farmer, Donna Karan. All been very interesting, and I hope that people have watched this and react accordingly. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.